Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
La Vita is an award-winning, independently run Italian restaurant. Located on Rose Lane in the heart of Liverpool, real Italian-style dishes, using the best ingredients, skillfully prepared by our chefs. Come and try our serious Italian experience.
Supreme Upholstery Limited is a manufacturer of quality bespoke upholstered furniture. Come along with your ideas for that perfect sofa to fit your home and let Supreme bring your ideas to fruition. We also offer a service to the contract market, including large hotel groups and small family-run business. No matter how large or how small your order, you will always get that personal service from our sales team. Come along and visit our showroom.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show. This week we went along to meet vocalist and entertainer Martin Toal. Martin has performed at all the major UK sporting stadiums including Wembley, Old Trafford, the Etihad Stadium, Twickenham and many more. But first up, we're off to meet an incredible lady. Her name is Margaret Sherlock. She comes from County Monaghan. She is Britain's longest serving hairdresser. She has given 75 years of her life to the profession, and she recently celebrated her 91st birthday, and she is still working in her hair salon in Chorley in Lancashire. Margaret, tell me, how did you first get interested in hairdressing?
Well, I was only 5 and I was bored one day. I was playing out with the chickens and that, and I got fed up playing with the chickens and things, and I went in and sit down and I thought I'll have a rest on this bed. Anyway, I sit on the bed for a bit, and then I thought I'll go and have a root in that cupboard, and I found a cutthroat razor. So I took it out and I cut all my hair off, every hair off my head. Wow. And I had no mirrors or nothing. And you're supposed to like have your hair wet, but we didn't know in them days. And I cut it all off dry. So I had no hair left, just my 2 ears sticking out.
Wow. So what did you do from that?
Well, my sister came in, she went mad about it. But she covered it up with a pixie. They used to do pixies, and so they covered. I had to wear that to school for about 3 months.
And in 1956, a big year for you.
Oh yeah, well, that's when I opened up here. But I'd been doing like people round here, and the staff from the hospital used to come down and they'd have their hair done, just in this room. And then when Linda was born, when I took her home from hospital, I opened that day. I thought, this is it, I'll have to work full time now, so I opened that evening.
And how long have you been doing hair altogether?
75 years.
Many congratulations.
Thank you.
And you've got Kath here today, one of your customers.
Oh yes, Kath was one of my first customers. She used to work in a shop downtown, and she used to come in. And she used to buy Linda lovely little frocks and all sorts, when she was a baby. And she's come ever since.
The first time I ever met Margaret, I worked in a shop in Chorley, and I thought I need a hairdresser, and I called in here, and that was the first time I met Margaret. Got talking, we knew we were both from Monaghan. So I've been coming ever since then. I was about 16, 17 then, and I've been coming since then, and I'm 80 now.
And I believe that she's done your hair on some very special occasions.
She did my hair and all the wedding crew for my wedding. She opened up it was on Easter Monday, which she normally would have been closed. She opened up, did all our hair, and then came to the wedding later on in the afternoon.
And you had a great old shindig after that.
Did we just, apart from her son Adrian, who was a wee bit fed up with the whole thing.
Yeah.
And his dad took him and bought him a little gun, and he went round shooting everybody, and he was quite happy after that.
Oh, well, listen, Kat, lovely to see you today, and your hair looks beautiful.
Oh, well, she's just about got it right now after 60-odd years.
Well, I found out that you're Britain's longest serving hairdresser.
Well, they keep saying so.
You're quite a celebrity, aren't you? Because you've been in the Irish papers and...
So I don't think anything of that.
Yeah. And you've had a lovely award from BBC Community Heroes.
Oh, yeah, we had, yeah. I didn't think I'd won that. I went that night just to clap everybody else on, because I thought you had to do it like voluntary, the work. And I was saying, haven't they done well? And I was clapping them. And then the next thing they called me up and said I was the overall winner. I couldn't believe it.
Now, tell me where you come from in County Monaghan and a little bit about your family back home.
Well, I come from a little place, it's something like Rivington. It's called Brogan. And my father worked in America all his life, and he bought an awful lot of land. He had 98 acres of land round there. And we only had a little thatched cottage. That's what we were brought up in. I think it's still there. And, we just walked to school. We had to walk about 4 miles to school every day at home. Yeah. And there was no cars or anything, So that was it.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about your husband and your family here.
Well, Frank, he was the eldest of 10, but he was brought up with his grandmother, his uncle, and he worked for electricians over in Ireland, but then he decided to come with his brother to England. And when they come over, they got jobs working on the buses and that. But then when Linda was born, I thought, well, when she gets older, somebody will have to be here to take her to school and take her home, because we'd no other family to do that. And I couldn't leave the shop with customers. So I asked him to learn the hairdressing. So he went to Liverpool and he learned. And he went to Manchester with another Irish family. They both went together and they learned the hairdressing, and then he used to practice in here.
Now tell me a little bit about Linda and your son Adrian.
Well, they were all brought up here, they were little. And they used to get fed up sometimes because then the mills were all open. And we'd be working many a night I worked to 10 o'clock. And we'd put them up to bed about 8 o'clock. And there was one morning, Adrian came in, one Saturday morning, Frank took him down and gave him his breakfast, and he come in here, and I was doing somebody's hair, and he looked up at me and he said, "Mommy, is it morning or is it night?" It was still dark. What he meant, it was dark when he went to bed, yeah. And it was still dark, you see, in the winter time. Yeah. And I thought, it's a shame, but still, they weren't like out on the streets, they were looked after at home,
Adrian, tell me a little bit about some of the awards that your mum has received.
Oh, well, she's had lots of recognition. She's been in all the newspapers, the local media, and of course on your show as well, Martin. She's had a letter from one of the political dignitaries in County Monaghan. But I think the highest award she's had to date was a local BBC Local Community Heroes Award. She was the overall winner in 2018. And basically that was a recognition of all the work she does at the shop, because these customers are more like friends. It's more like a social centre. And when people come in, they sit down and they have a chat, they get their hair done. That's a bit of a byproduct of them coming in for a natter and a cup of tea and a good time. And some of her customers, they might not see too many people from one week to the next, but they come in here, they get a warm welcome. Of course, they know all the other customers, so they all sit down and have a chat and have a good time. And when they leave here, they've got their hair done, they've had a couple of hours of fun with their friends, and off they go.
Yes, it's a very homely place to come, and of course you mentioned there 5 years ago we were here and we got the tea and biscuits and Irish cake as well. Oh
yeah, well the kettle's always boiling here, and lots of biscuits and goodies to be had, and again it's part of the feel of the place. It's not a business. My mum loves what she does and she loves the people she does it for, and they all love her, so it's a perfect match.
So Linda, tell me, how did you get involved here working with your mum at the hair salon?
Well, I grew up in the salon. I used to do my doll's hair when I was little. And then when I was a teenager, I was a kind of a trainee, apprentice hairdresser for the grand sum of 50 pence per week plus tips. But I always wanted to be a teacher. And I think my mum and dad wanted both of us to have jobs which were secure. So we were encouraged to do that, really.
Lovely. And then, of course, you were a teacher for many, many years. And then you decided to become a hairdresser with your mum.
Yeah, well, I do everything but the hairdressing. She has a very difficult task of getting everybody's hair into order, but she does all the hairdressing.
Now, of course, I know you're very proud of your mum, and you've actually written a book about her called Shampoo and Set. Tell me a little bit about the idea behind the book.
Well, I've always wanted to write a book, and I started off by collecting memories from the various clients that we call friends. And there's a lot of nostalgia in the book because I focus a lot on the 60s and the 70s and then some other stories. So it started off like that. And then, of course, I was always fascinated by my mum's story of how she started in hairdressing. You know, left without a mother at the age of 5. Life was difficult. So I've put that in as well. And then it kind of evolved into other things that happened in her life. Some quite challenging, but then some really exciting.
Yeah. And of course, you're very interested in writing other books and other stories as well. You've had quite a few things published, haven't you?
Yeah, well, obviously the book is the pinnacle of what I've always wanted to do as a writer. But obviously in my job, I did a lot of academic writing and I had a number of academic articles printed. And then I've written for various magazines. And 2 years ago, I was delighted when my monologue, which was called The Exile's Child, was chosen to be performed and recorded on the London stage by the Green Curtain Theatre Company. And it was all about leaving Ireland. So I took myself back to when I was 15 in the 1970s, and I used to cry all the way to the boat in Dublin because I didn't want to leave Ireland and come back home.
Now tell me a little bit about where people can get the book and when is it available?
The book's available now. It's called Shampoo and Set, 75 Years as a Hairdresser by Margaret Sherlock. It's available on all major websites. You can order it from your local bookshop, from all the major retailers, and it's available worldwide.
Many congratulations. And I believe you celebrated your 91st birthday only a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we did. We didn't have a great big party because we couldn't, but it was all right.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you. Too busy today. You'll have to wait for a week.
Margaret, you're a wonderful lady and you do a great job caring for all your customers. And I've really enjoyed reading your book, Shampoo and Set, which tells all your life story. Well done to you. Now we're going to take a little break and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
La Vita is an award-winning, independently run Italian restaurant. Located on Rose Lane in the heart of Liverpool, real Italian-style dishes, using the best ingredients, skillfully prepared by our chefs. Come and try our serious Italian experience.
Supreme Upholstery Limited is a manufacturer of quality bespoke upholstered furniture. Come along with your ideas for that perfect sofa to fit your home and let Supreme bring your ideas to fruition. We also offer a service to the contract market, including large hotel groups and small family-run business. No matter how large or how small your order, you will always get that personal service from our sales team. Come along and visit our showroom.
Welcome back. Now we're off to meet Martin Toal, who is a vocalist and entertainer. And Martin has performed at all the major sporting venues throughout the UK, including Wembley Stadium, Old Trafford, the Etihad Stadium and Twickenham. And he's just recorded the song The Leaving of Liverpool.
So fare thee well, my own true love, and when I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee.
Whether it is English, Irish, Scottish, Welsh, you know, it doesn't matter, whichever anthem, the buzz you get from the roar, particularly at the end of when you finish the songs, is brilliant. And you know, I've sung it a few. I've sung at Old Trafford 3 times, which was they were for one of them was an England Northern Ireland game actually, which was fantastic. And but also Wembley, Twickenham. You know, 80-odd thousand there. It's there's nothing quite like it, Martin, I'll tell you.
Yeah. But before you go on the pitch, does the nerves hit in for such a big group of people listening to you, big audience?
Do you know, it's interesting. It's interesting, but actually, I would probably get more nervous if I was singing to you now, Martin, in the one-to-one. It's because it's such a big crowd. It's almost you can't really see the faces, you know. So it's so I would say actually. If I was singing to, say, a little small group of 30 people, I think I'd feel the nerves more then than if you're singing to 90,000 people, where basically, you know, you're there, you've got your microphone in front of you, and you just have to deliver whatever.
Tell me a little bit about your Irish heritage. Yeah,
well what it is, it's my dad's mum and dad are Irish. So we're Irish. I mean, they've sadly passed away now. But my grandmother, she's my dad's mum. She's from Mayo. She's from Ballyhonus in Mayo, and actually I think it was about 7 years ago, I went down and went to the old cottage, you know, where she grew up, and you know, and fascinating to see. And my granddad, you know, he was actually from Newry, a little place called Mike. It's a nice little sort of village, and very popular with tolls, lots of tolls around there. And he was from there, and I went to see his old place as well, the old farm as it was, and so that's the Irish connection.
You've recently recorded The Leaving of Liverpool. Yeah. Why that song?
Well, what I did, the song itself I recorded back in, you know, it's almost like the 15th anniversary of the Aria Celtica album, and of which The Leaving of Liverpool was on there. Now, there's a little bit of a story behind it. I mean, what I've done is I produced a video of it, a music video. And the reason is I think like every musician, and there'll be lots of them out there, I've been frustrated with the last 15 months, you know, not being able to perform, not being able to sing, not being able to do anything. I just thought I need to do something creative. So we looked at doing a bit of a music video, and the one I decided to do was The Leaving of Liverpool. Now, the reason behind that, there's several reasons. The first reason, it is very close to my heart with my dad. My dad, again, he sadly passed away 10 years ago. And we played the song at his funeral, and so it had a little bit of a personal thing for me, but also because I thought in these times we've had lots of people have had separation and and loneliness and people having to leave each other and that type of thing, and you know, even things like in hospitals, and people have been in hospital and relatives not being able to visit and things like that, and so I just thought that this particular song I thought reflected what's been going on, I think, over the past 15 months. You know, some of the hard times that people have gone through. I'm talking about emotionally. So hopefully the song and the video, how we've portrayed it, you know, we'll get that over, that kind of sense of loss and departure, and you know, and it's a song, you know, Martin, that I first I first met when I was on a family holiday many years ago in Brittany, and I was in a bookshop, and there was a little book there, and it was like sea songs and things like that, and I opened it up and looked at it and just started humming. You know, they had the chords there, and I thought, wow, that sounds like a lovely song, and then I wanted to just put my own little interpretation on it, and there you go.
And when I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. Well, I shipped a Yankee sailing ship, Davy Crockett is her name, and Burgess is the captain of her, and I know she's a floating shame. So fare thee well, my own true love, and when I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. Oh, the sun is on the harbour, love, and I wish I could remain, 'cause it will be a very long time, well before I see you again. So fare thee well, my own true love, and when I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. So fare thee well, my own true love, and when I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee.
Well, it's a lovely song. It's
Thank
a song that's close to all our hearts.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got the wonderful Richard Sanderson performing with you as well.
I have. You know, Richard. My fiddle player. You know, brilliant violinist he is, and brilliant entertainer. There was only one person I could ask to come on the video with me, and it was Richard. He was delighted. Again, Richard, like myself, has been so frustrated the fact that, you know, he as we know with Richard, he wants to be on the stage and on tables dancing and, you know, playing the violin but playing the fiddle there. But he came on it, and we had a lovely day out in Liverpool. We filmed it actually, you know, in Liverpool there. In fact, we filmed it on Birkenhead with Liverpool in the background, and the lovely Layla Taylor, who she played the woman who had to look sad that I was leaving her. So she was brilliant acting, which she did. But Richard certainly is a person I've known for a long time. I do a concert each year at the Garrick Theatre in Altrincham. He's my guest violinist every year. You know, he's and by demand. You know, I think that they say they're almost like, we're not coming to your concert, Martin, unless he's in it. So wonderful violinist, great entertainer, and it's great to have him on the video.
Now, tell us, are you available for bookings? And if you are, how can people book you for their events that may be coming up later on this year?
If people want me to perform, they can contact me through my website. It's martintoal.com, and all the contact details are on there. What I'm looking for really is I want to really resurrect this the aria celtica. I want to resurrect the operatic Irish mix. You know, I've performed it in several places in Ireland, in Athlone, in Galway, and that type. But I'd like to maybe get over to Ireland a bit more with Richard and with a small group of players, and perform the aria celtica set.
Martin, it's been a privilege to meet you today, and we're really looking forward to your new video.
No, well, thank you very much, Martin, and it's been lovely to see you as well.
Lovely to meet Martin, and we wish him the very best of luck with his recording of The Leaving of Liverpool. Now, we hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. Henry McGlade is back with us next Thursday evening at 7 o'clock from County Monaghan, and we are here as usual at 7:30. Until then, take good care, and we'll see you next week.